Torchlit shadows dance across unyielding stone as calloused hands trace a thread through endless twisting corridors, the air thick with the echo of distant roars. The flame gutters in the inventor's grip, casting jagged flickers on walls that swallow light and sound alike. Daedalus pauses, breath ragged, fingers slick with sweat and wax residue, feeling the labyrinth's pulse, a living trap woven from his own genius. He had forged this maze for King Minos of Crete, a prison of deception to cage the Minotaur, that half-man horror born of Pasiphae's cursed union with a bull. Stone upon stone, passage upon blind passage, the labyrinth defied gods and mortals, inescapable as the tide. Yet now its creator languished within, doors sealed by Minos' wrath. The king had discovered Daedalus's betrayal, the thread given to Theseus, that Athenian prince who slew the beast and fled with Ariadne's aid. Gratitude turned to fury. Minos blockaded every harbor, every skiff, chaining father and son, Icarus, the boy with eyes like storm clouds, in the heart of their own design. Echoing footsteps reverberate, not the Minotaur's thunder, but guards' patrols weaving through the gloom. Daedalus presses against a crevice, whispering to Icarus huddled in shadow, "The sea mocks us, my son. Minos rules the waves." Long shadows stretch like accusing fingers as the inventor scans the vaulted dark, mind racing beyond stone and surf. Birds wheel unseen above, their cries faint through cracks in the dome. Feathers, he thinks, gathered in secret from the courtyard doves, threads unraveled from thoroughbred cloaks, wax pilfered from sacred lamps. Kneeling in the fetid torchlight, Daedalus binds quills with linen, molds frames with heated wax dripping like blood from a vein. Wings take shape, fragile as hope, strapped with leather thongs cut from sandals. Icarus watches, wide-eyed, as the first prototype lifts on a draft, trembling against the labyrinth's breath. "Fly midway, boy," Daedalus murmurs, voice a blade in the silence. "Neither sea to soak nor sun to melt." Wax drips like forbidden tears under a merciless sun, while fragile wings strain against the pull of sea and sky, testing the bounds of mortal defiance. They burst from the labyrinth's maw at dawn's edge, leaping from a sheer cliff where Crete's jagged coast plunges into churning foam. Daedalus feels the updraft seize his makeshift sails first, feathers whispering against the wind, leather thongs biting into shoulders honed by endless toil. Below, waves claw at rocks like Minos' hounds, while above, the sun climbs, a golden eye unblinking. Icarus follows, his smaller frame buoyant, laughter echoing over the salt spray. "Father, we soar like gods!" The boy banks left, then right, testing the wings tremble, feathers shedding like autumn leaves in the gusts. Crete shrinks beneath them, a labyrinth of olive groves and whitewashed shrines. Minos' palace a distant speck under storm-dark skies gathering at the horizon. Daedalus calls back, voice frayed by wind. "Steady, Icarus! Midway! Sea nor sun!" But the boy's shadow dances wild, skimming wave crests that hiss jealousy, then veering upward where thermals beckon like sirens. Long shadows trail across the water as father and son arc toward Sicily's promise, wings slicing through clouds heavy with unspoken peril. Icarus rises higher, sun's heat kissing wax seams, softening them into glistening beads. Daedalus glances back, heart seizing at the boy's ascent, feathers loosening, spiraling into the abyss like fallen stars. "Down, my son! The sun devours!" The plea vanishes in thunderous gusts. Icarus's wings buckle, wax rivers streaming, plumage unraveling in a frantic flurry. He plummets, arms flailing, a scream swallowed by the sea's roar as it claims him in froth and silence, the Icarian waves forever marked by Hubris's plunge. Daedalus circles once, twice, eyes burning, before banking seaward alone, the weight of empty sky pressing like chains. Grief's unyielding chains bind a father's flight to distant shores, where ingenuity's triumph crumbles into eternal isolation amid silent, wind-scoured ruins. Daedalus presses on, wings heavy with the salt of tears and loss, the sea's vast mirror reflecting his solitary shadow. Sicily rises jagged from the horizon, cliffs like the labyrinth's teeth, welcoming yet wary. He lands in a sacred grove near King Minos's court, feathers frayed, body trembling from the ordeal. The wings dissolve in his hands, wax hardened by chill winds, quills scattered like omens on sacred earth. Word spreads through torchlit halls. The inventor from Crete, bearer of impossible flight, seeks refuge from Minos's pursuit. Cocalus, king of these western wilds, marvels at Daedalus's tales, his genius a gift to the realm. Rivers diverted, temples carved from living rock, wonders wrought in bronze and marble. Daedalus rebuilds, yet every chisel stroke echoes Icarus's final cry. Minos arrives months later, relentless, offering a golden thread spiraled through a snail's shell as proof of the fugitive's lair. Daedalus recognizes the ruse, his own labyrinthine mind mirrored in the king's trap. In vengeance veiled as hospitality, Cocalus's daughters pour scalding water over Minos in his bath, the tyrant screams mingling with steam rising like vengeful spirits. Crete's shadow lifts, but Daedalus wanders no more, bound to Sicily's silent ruins. Echoing footsteps fade into groves where doves circle eternally, feathers whispering of flights untaken. The myth endures not in triumph, but in the irrevocable fracture of a father's warning ignored, Hubris's plummet etching fate into foam-flecked waves. Daedalus defied stone and sea through cunning, yet human frailty, youth's reckless soar toward the divine, unraveled all. Ingenuity charts paths beyond mortal bounds, but the sun's indifferent gaze melts presumption, leaving inventors adrift in grief's unyielding labyrinth. Choices cascade into voids no thread can retrace, fates sealed by the hubris of ascent. Long shadows of the fallen linger in every skyward glance, a stark reminder. Even gods envy not the flight, but mourn its cost. Thanks for joining this mythic sleep tale. Subscribe for more ancient echoes that stir the soul through shadowed nights.